You will? Oh, great.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for...
Time to go.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Time to go.
Let's light it up! Even better than I imagined. It's my lucky day.
Look! There's somebody over there! Oh no! It's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further! Watch where you're going! Oh, dear customer. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but... Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu Tao!
My, who do we have here? It's the Traveler... my worst nightmare.
I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Hu.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me?
You're...
Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Qingse Village. You were supposed...
Oh, my name is Jia Liang. Liwei Har...
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy right away. Sorry, Hu Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time.
Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy?
Huh? What?
Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends?
Use what? What are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
There are traces of god remains in Jialiang City.
Oh, yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If the...
Paimon, sorry. What?
God remains... There's no need to worry, Director Hu. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who... Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baizhu, just...
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are...
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything by keeping I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake, and...
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise...
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get our... Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation? I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it?
Don't you worry. Baiju's a really great doctor.
Ayu, do you know when your father first started to...
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember.
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find...
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who, please feel free to hang around for as long...
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu!
Bye for...
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
All's well that ends well, huh? You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go.
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked dock. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces.
Guilty as charged. So, oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly that Jialian...
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, these days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how...
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so...
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baiju's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baiju's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, my grandpa had a huge argument with him. But he couldn't, so my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But why?
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me anything, but even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide. One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally...
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baiju himself about all of this tomorrow.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as
It's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy and check out how Jia Liang is doing.
Dad!
Oh, are you?
Dad, you remember me!
Yes, I remember now. Oh, are you? I'm so sorry. You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baiju's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baiju.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baiju. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try not to overexert yourself.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jia Liang's condition?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all, but... How did you accomplish this in a single night?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baiju. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baiju.
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Chiangsheng and my...
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baiju did not cure Jia Liang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily Baiju, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as the poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's...
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baiju's strange choice of a necklace.
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first
Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So...
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize Traveler. Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs... Baiju, don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect...
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should... Yes. I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family... Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after... As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow...
Crumble!
Behold! Squall and Fury!
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiang Li was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get...
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the... She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time...
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must...
Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that.
Quarrel? What happened?
I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her...
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision...
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baiju. Paimon always had you down...
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious sounding thing you've ever...
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Jiang Li has... Let's split up. But if anyone...
Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
You sense it too? You're right.
Is it breathing?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this spot. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned...
The gall of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off...
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison...
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind... Hey, why is everyone...
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in this secret compartment, the one who concocted it is the...
You mean... Jialiang? Why would he poison himself?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here, and who might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Huh? So you're saying... It was Jiang... Wait, but... That doesn't make any sense either! What?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li...
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue...
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother load is So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jia Liang's system without the need for any further treatment. Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events...
Whoa, what? Enter a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty...
Hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with the power. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier.
Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing! Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baiju, you're Mannequin Man! Chung Chung, you're just...
This is exactly why your natural temperament...
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are? If it were... What?
Seems you're as well...
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time.
Are all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Chinxa village. A vile monster known as the Ch once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis. The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Chinxa village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Ch is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master! Master!
Gray? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute and then...
Already? Based on past experience.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now!
Too slow. Behold! Huh.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baishu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he said—
When Gui left, he was still conscious.
Gui, please take Jialiang to the back room and prepare.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jialiang?
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, Wait, where's Dr. Baiju?
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss. Speaking of which,
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet.
I'll come with.
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang.
Though, on the bright side, this means
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in. Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too
There was no time. I had no other choice. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need...
I made an error in my initial diagnosis, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater...
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his... Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy. Or he could have...
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse. and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiangli has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiangli has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiangli would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible. Whatever the cost.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty. In any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now, so her regular exposure to God remains over such a long... And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
It's Jialiang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything.
Dr. Baiju, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise.
No! We're out of time! Before I forget everything.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a...
I never expected to live this long in the first place. There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we...
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baiju? Are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th...
Dr. Baiju?
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this...
Okay.
Search for it.
Only innocent children and timid adults are scared of thunder. But you're not either of those, are you?
That strange feeling. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to...
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because... Jialiang, can you sense which direction...
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can say...
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay?
No.
gives the digging marks here appear.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard.
Judging by the tools they left behind, but why did they abandon this place without even...
I remember now. She said that the method...
Easy, Jialiang.
I see everything. Committed to memory.
Right here, right now. Emerge.
Quake!
Hey!
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were no doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what, after them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiang Li. This is where I told Jiang...
Jiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now.
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Doesn't see any barrier-breaking mechanisms around here.
There are tracks here, and it looks like they're connected to something. Shall we follow it and see where it takes us? The doctor will see you now.
Right here, right now, right here.
Here you are.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it?
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baiju said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having...
And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under... Oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, Baiju, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know if...
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight.
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days.
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see Ayu grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then even if I,
Jialiang...
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baiju, could I have another...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that...
Jialiang...
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiangli would not have had to resort to unnatural methods.
What a crazy situation! Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli! What's the point of it all?
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations...
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor. So, I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time is...
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become...
I'll take it. At the very least.
Mom! Something's really wrong with Dad! Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang! 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 Dad! Are you awake?
Jiangli, Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me?
Dr. Baishu,
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory...
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that, but...
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell...
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought...
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of...
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wish. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wang Sheng... Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone?
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this...
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so...
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng. Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never... Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your method.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never... But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a... Not just that. You even managed to improve upon the original formula. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed,
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you... What am I saying? The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more. But in the end, How were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. And then you tried the poison. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down, Baizhu. I know I won't be able to convince you, but Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay?
Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that...
It is a...
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojin. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them. When faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world.
So, Baiju...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light. Cheng Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Cheng Sheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Cheng Sheng's final host, and
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you...
But isn't for a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards...
For once?
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, what are you still chatting about?
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but...
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately?
Solidify! Stabilize! Solidify!